us. Yeah, a complete end to the police brutality. So they incarcerate us. Our people are confronted by every single day, every single week.
When I say police, you say oink oink. Police! Oink oink! Police! Oink oink! Police! Oink oink! When I say justice, you say Raheim. Justice!
Police badge, all his back up without his jail cell or bulletproof vest. Take away his authority, what do you have left? Huh? Just a person like the rest of us. So show some respect to us.
Something with you all that was written about 40 years ago, and this is from a person that I consider to be a hero. Settle your quarrels, come together, understand the reality of our situation, understand that fascism is already here, that people are dying who could be saved, that generations more will die or live poor, butchered half lives if you fail to act. Do what must be done. Discover your humanity and your love in revolution. Pass on the torch and give up your life for the people. That was by George Jackson.
Yeah.
That's somebody that it's really my honor, my pleasure to introduce to you Raheim Brown Jr.'s father, Raheim Brown Sr.
First of all, thank everybody coming out here supporting cause for my son and for everyone that has lost a loved one from police brutality. I wish he was here. I know a lot of people do too, but we got his spirit in us. He has a beautiful son, my grandson, third right there. Yeah, you little man. I'm blessed that we have him. I'm blessed that I have my daughters. I have my children too that's still living. We're gonna get through this. Thank you for your support. I miss you, Raheim. Rest in peace, baby.
Right now, I want to invite Uncle Bobby, Oscar Grant's Uncle Bobby, to the microphone.
Thank you, Leslie. Every time a young man is killed in our community by police, it's like I have to relive that night when we came to knowledge that my nephew Oscar was murdered. But what I want to do is just bring to you how important this is for you to be out here, for you to support these families, so that we may get some justice for these families. In the 470 years of the existence of the state of California, as we know, Johannes Mesley was the first officer to be charged, to be convicted, and to be actually sentenced to some jail time.
That's right.
It wasn't a victory, but it was history. So we have to know and understand that we have a hell of a fight on our hands. But I'm here to tell you that we can get victory. We can make history. Victory! Johannes Mesley attorney Michael Raines cried in court when they sentenced him to that 11 months.
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
That's right.
When he cried, he made an announcement here when he filed his appeal to overturn the verdict that we got, stating that it will create a chilling effect on these police officers out here while they're doing their duty, because they never ever have been charged for shooting someone. And he wants to make sure by appealing to the California State Supreme Court that this verdict is overturned. So let's be clear, the fight for justice for Oscar Grant and the simple fact that we made a little history is not over, because they're attempting to erode that so that they don't have to give none of these mothers any justice.
That's right.
These rallies and these protests are good, but we're gonna have to take it up to another level.
That's right.
We're gonna have to start going to the district attorney's office and having sit-ins. Some of us are gonna have to be arrested. We have to make this a national issue across the United States. We want to say thank you to the Ramali Graham family, because as you know, the officer that killed Ramali Graham in New York, if you're unfamiliar who Ramali Graham is, were indicted. That is a history-making point. But it's going to take more than an indictment for them to get justice. And the same applies here. The district attorney office filed investigative charges when an officer shoots and kills a young man in our community, just as the Oakland Police Department does. But as you're learning and hearing, these mothers are really denied the information to what's going on in their case. The district attorney has a dual investigation that runs parallel to the Oakland Police Department investigation. What has their investigation concluded? If it hasn't concluded anything, where are they at in the investigation? We need to ask those questions. But we can't just do it out here protesting. This is good because it brings to knowledge to the people that are passing by and others that there is something going on. But we want answers.
That's right.
We want to know why these officers are not charged.
That's right.
We need them charged for the murders they commit.
About your son and what happened.
My son's name is Derek Gaines. He's 15 years old. He grew up in South San Francisco, which is primarily a middle-class neighborhood. About 6 years ago, I bought a house out here in East Oakland, and Derek came with me. Although my aunt has raised him most of his life. But I still commuted to make sure that he stayed in school in South San Francisco. Because my thinking was, good neighborhood, he'll be safe, he'll get a good education. Anyways, Derek was at McDonald's with his friend, and was walking to the bus stop. And South San Francisco Police Department stopped him because he looked suspicious. And I guess looking suspicious means holding a McDonald's bag in one hand and a soda in the other. No, it's suspicious is black in South San Francisco.
Yeah, and young, exactly.
So they were both stopped. Why they weren't searched at that time or cuffed while he was doing whatever kind of investigation that he felt as though he needed to do, I don't know.
Right.
Derek, being scared, ran. He was tripped, and then he was shot. The police said that he was shot once, but there's 3 holes in Derek. I know this because I chose to dress him for the funeral.
I'm sorry.
The police department have yet to come and talk to me, to update me on what's going on, if anything is going on. The officer that stopped Derek we started a protest the day after. His friends actually started it because I was numb and crazy and just didn't know what to do. But they did. They kind of guided me through it. And they started to hear the reports about their friend, and they knew that's not who Derek was, or is. They made this, they put this design on Facebook, and I pulled it off, and I started making t-shirts. Somebody donated 100 t-shirts, and they set up a memorial in the gas station, and as we sat there for the next 5 days, people that were there that night started to come up to me. The person that did CPR on my son came up and spoke to me. Another man and his friend that was their regular walk route came and spoke to me and told me about the minutes after that the officer was very distraught and looked like he had made a terrible mistake. Started CPR right away, which I've been told by some of the other mothers that that's not protocol.
Yeah, exactly.
That sometimes they even handcuff these people because, you know, they were in fear for their life. And now this person is dead or alive, he's under arrest. But he immediately started CPR on my son. No one came to tell me, and his friend Remy, identify Derek. So they knew where, who he was and where he lived. I would have known if it wasn't for the other boy that was with him. So.
Wow.
I also heard you say the media is also like portraying your son in a negative thing.
To be a gang member,
Yeah.
and so his friends thought that was very comical because Derek was the one that always wore purple. So our tribute to him was to make the T-shirts purple, and they talk. That's the running joke right now because he wasn't in the gang. My son also suffered from a disability. He was born with club feet. So when they said Derek ran really fast, it was almost comical. Derek had been playing basketball for 2 hours prior to this, and by that time he was probably in severe pain.
Wow.
He pushed himself to the limit to be able to play and interact with sports. But afterwards he paid the price, and if they got him to the ground, what was the point of shooting? They already had control of him. You couldn't mistake him for a man. He had little boy face, he wasn't tall, he was my height,